My last video didn't really work because the lighting didn't seem to show up the growth rings or what I've done, so I'm doing this in natural lighting, trying to give you a better idea, and you can hopefully see the draw knife marks. They're not necessarily growth rings, but maybe here you can see some of the lines, and definitely here where I've cut down from the underbark surface you can get an idea for how much I've removed. And hopefully near the tip here, I think that's showing up, you can see I've sort of got a homogeneous ring there, and you can see some of this scruffy white stuff that can scrape off. But this just gives you an idea for the proportions I've got on this limb now. It's still way too thick. But what I'm thinking I might do is, just for the fun of it, file in temporary string grooves and put it on the tiller like this, with this left limb not worked down at all. And you just see, you know, the difference between the limb effectively rough sawn and one that I've given the first stages of roughing out. Right, this is a bit of total madness because this limb's been roughed out, this one's been roughed out and then worked down from the back, and also a bit of tidying up off the belly. It's just interesting to see how asymmetric will it look. Because the string line's wrong, the bow will try and flip that way, so I don't know quite what will happen, but we'll have a look. Let's come back. Yeah, right, it's what we'd expect to see. We can see the right limb working, but the left is stiff as hell. Blimey, is £60. But yeah, it's, sometimes it's just very reassuring to see what you expect to see. Right, I reckon I've taken literally less than 5 minutes tidying up the sapwood back on this limb, tidying up the belly as well, and it's been so much quicker and easier because I can refer to this limb. I've got an idea what thickness of sapwood I'm looking for. I've already had a good feel of the wood and how it removes, so I've got a similar heartwood sapwood ratio, a similar taper. I'm not saying it's the same. I've probably taken off too little on the principle of always err on the safe side, but I'm now expecting to see this limb flex a bit. I'm still way over poundage, but it's shown a few things, like there's some twist in that limb, and I've also got the sideways bend that I might want to take out at the grip, because the bow's trying to do that. I've pulled the string as far as I can this way at either end, just to try and stop it twisting. But we'll just see if a quick 5 minutes with the draw knife, and it's probably less than that, because it just rips off pretty quick. See what that's achieved there. Yeah, as I said, it's still too stiff, but it's starting to move a whisker. See, and there's a bit of reflex on that left limb, and that is starting to pull out. She's way too thick here, but it's starting to move. I've got the sapwood tidied up a little bit. Not a huge amount of twist, it's mostly just at the tip of that limb, and twist is easy to take out. Yeah, I've got a lot of meat there, a lot of thickness there. It's probably getting on for an inch thick there. I can dive in a lot more out of the fades. Yeah, it's just thick. It doesn't, that limb doesn't feel that much thicker than this one. But yeah, starting to move. And the back's looking a bit prettier. Interestingly, on this limb I've just done, the sapwood was quite thin at this point, so I've had to take quite a lot off this edge, which then shows up as, you know, making it very twisted. But twist isn't really an issue. You can ignore it or you can take it out. So the sapwood's a bit thin there, very thick here. And I need to clean this up because I can't properly see what's heartwood and sapwood because there's a sort of knot on the edge here. So I don't want to take off too much sapwood and dive into the heartwood. But if I just clean that up with my door knife, I'll be able to see what's what. Because where you've got saw marks, it just stops you seeing clearly what's going on. It's also exposed a couple of knots. Nothing worrying at all. But yeah, it's starting to move. Got plenty of wood left. But you know, 5 minutes work here and there and you'll make good progress. Yeah, that's it really.